Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well as usual. Today I am on Magic Online. I'm going to play a little bit of Modern. I'm going to play some Boros Burn. Kind of woke up, felt like it this morning. Anyways, here's the deck. It is a pretty standard list, and if you're just looking for gameplay, I'm going to put timestamps down in the description so you can jump ahead to the first game. Next, I will go over the deck just a little bit to give some newer players an idea of what this deck can do. So, the deck does play 12 creature spells. Here they are right here. We have, of course, 4 Goblin Guides. Goblin Guide is a 2/2 with haste for 1. Very great stat line. He does have a bit of a downside that I think actually is more often than not a bit of an upside. It says whenever Goblin Guide attacks, defending player reveals a top card of their library. If it's a land, that player puts it into their hand. So when Goblin Guide attacks, if the top card of the opponent's library is a land, they get an extra card. A little bit of a downside. Could be a very big downside. It's backfired quite badly in some games on me. However, a lot of the time, that card that is going to be revealed is not a land card. It could be a sorcery, instant, creature card, whatever. And that is just giving us information about what is in the opponent's hand and can give us the information we need to play around our next couple of turns. Next, we are playing the Monastery Swiftspear, a 1/2 for 1 with Prowess and Haste. One of the best cards that you can be playing in an aggro deck with spells. And then Eidolon of the Great Revel. This card says whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, Eidolon of the Great Revel deals 2 damage to that player. So this is a symmetrical effect, meaning it's going to hit our opponent and also us. And it's going to hit us hard because all of the cards that we are playing in this deck are in fact 3 CMC or less. So why is this any good? Well, the idea is that we are going to be doing so much damage to our opponent's face very early on in the game that we'll get ahead on life through that. And although our life total will be dropping with this card on the battlefield, it will be more detrimental to the opponent's game plan. They're going to have to play things like Path to Exile to remove the Eidolon of the Great Revel, putting them down on cards and also taking damage in the process. It's just a great card in this archetype. Next, we're playing a bunch of spells. All of these are spells. In this column here, I have essentially what are 1 CMC spells. We have Lava Spike, which is 3 damage to target player or planeswalker, almost always to target player. It is a sorcery for 1. Sure. Next, Lightning Bolt, the best burn spell ever, probably. Instant speed, 3 damage to any target. Next, Rift Bolt does cost 3, but for the most part, we're going to be suspending this for 1, and then on the next turn after we suspend it, it will deal 3 damage to any target. And then Skewer the Critics also costs 3, but actually it's usually going to cost 1 because of its spectacle cost. If our opponent has taken damage this turn, we can cast Skewer the Critics for 1 red, and it's also 3 damage to any target. So essentially, we are playing 15 1 CMC 3 damage spells. And then in this column, we have our 2 CMC spells that have a little bit more utility in what they do. Searing Blaze is a... I should be playing different Searing Blazes. Hang on. I have these. Well, you know what? I like this fancy art. I'm going to keep it, but for this demonstration, where'd it go? Right here. Searing Blaze is this. It says Searing Blaze deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker and 1 damage to target creature that player or that planeswalker's controller controls. What a mouthful. Not too impressive. However, it has a landfall trigger that says if a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn, instead of dealing 1 damage, it's going to be dealing 3 damage. So this is an incredibly good card against somebody that's playing creatures on turn 2, or let's say on turn 1, your opponent puts out a 1 CMC creature. On turn 2, you can go landfall, target your opponent, target that creature, and deal 3 damage to each for 2 CMC. Pretty great. Next, we have Boros Charm, which is an instant speed card that is only going to go face. This is the only card in the deck that doesn't target creatures or planeswalkers. Oh, sorry, it does target planeswalkers. Sorry, it doesn't target creatures. So, Boros Charm says choose 1, and really only that first line of text is really relevant most of the time. Boros Charm deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. However, this is a modal card, so it can do some interesting things. For example, permanents you control gain indestructible. If you have a big board of creatures, maybe you have a couple of Goblin Guides or Swift Spears on the battlefield, and your opponent goes to board wipe, hey, maybe a Boros Charm could come in to save that, and then on the next turn you can have board presence that can really pressure the opponent's life total. It can also give target creature double strike. I haven't used that very often, but maybe when you get a Swift Spear out, Swift Spear maybe has gotten a lot of prowess triggers. Maybe you could give it double strike, but I think most of the time 4 damage to the face is going to be better. Next, Lightning Helix, another one. Wow, I'm really screwing this up because I got a lot of fancy cards in here. I like this deck a lot, and because of that, I play a lot of fancy art. So Lightning Helix here. Lightning Helix says deal 3 damage to any target, usually face, and you gain 3 life. So nice little offset with life gain on this card. If you are against another opponent that is on an aggro plan, this card can really save the day. And then finally, Skullcrack. Players can't gain life this turn. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Skullcrack deals 3 damage to target planeswalker or player. This is very important because of a couple of things. Obviously, it does 3 damage to a face, not a big deal. Players can't gain life. Maybe if your opponent puts out a big life gain spell or has a creature that has life gain, well, before damage resolves or before the spell resolves, you can cast Skullcrack and really offset their game plan by removing the life gain that they would get. Then the second part is damage can't be prevented this turn. While there are a lot of cards in the format, for example, Core Firewalker, that says protection from red. Protection from red means that it prevents the damage that would be done to it. However, let's say I'm attacking with a Goblin Guide and my opponent has a Core Firewalker on the battlefield. They block my Goblin Guide with the Core Firewalker. Well, usually the Core Firewalker just won't take any damage and the attack from the Goblin Guide will be essentially negated. However, if I cast a Skullcrack before damage resolves, then that Goblin Guide will be able to do the 2 damage to the Core Firewalker and remove it from the battlefield. Pretty nice that it can do that. A lot of the time, though, it's just going to be doing 3 damage to somebody's face. So that's the core of the deck. The sideboard over here is also pretty basic. We have Path to Exile if we have some very big troublesome things to remove, like a opponent's Core Firewalker. Rest in Peace to stop graveyard strategies. Smash to Smithereens to blow up any kind of artifacts. This comes in against Tron more often than not. And it's also very good against Chalice of the Void, which is a very bad card against this deck because it will stop all of our 1 CMC spells most of the time. Roiling Vortex is a new addition to the deck. It is a constant drain on each player, dealing 1 damage on each player's upkeep. And then we can also pay mana to prevent life gain. Could be important. And then it can come in against decks that are putting out free spells. Pithing Needle to stop, well, a lot of card activations against Tron, possibly stopping Expedition maps. Could also come in against some Planeswalkers. Sure. Core Firewalker for the Mirror to gain a little bit of life whenever somebody casts a red spell. That includes us and the opponent. And then finally, Wear Tear, also to get rid of things like Chalice of the Void. Gotta maybe move that over a bit so you can see it in full view. So this is the burn deck. Gonna try to run it through a league, see how we do, and hopefully we have some fun. Thanks for watching this little intro, and go on to the games now. See you there. All right, we get to play first, playing Boros Burn, and opening hand looks very good. We have a turn 1 Goblin Guide, and then we can follow it up with some burn spells. Like it very much. Since the bans happened a few weeks ago, I've heard that modern burn has become very good again. It never really disappears. It's always in the format to some degree, but I have heard that it has gained a little bit of an increase in power level. So we get in. Goblin Guide is going to reveal something. We can see the card pop up here. Forgotten Cave. So did give the opponent a little bit of a benefit there by putting a card into his hand, but hey, that's the price you got to pay for a 2/2 with haste. So opponent puts out a Wooded Foothills, cracks it, gets a mountain of their own. Could be the Obosh deck playing Forgotten Cave. Okay, gonna try to get in with the Goblin Guide. I have a feeling he's going to Lightning Bolt it after the Goblin Guide reveals something. Oh, it's a prized amalgamation. Not amalgamation, amalgam. Okay, so we do get in for the 2 damage. That's awesome. What do I want to do now? I could set up for next turn, suspend the Rift Bolt, and put in the Arid Mesa and then crack it later on. I think that's fine. Okay. So, cycles the Forgotten Cave. Drawing the prized amalgam. Sure. Opponent has a Cathartic Reunion, so he's going to be dredging something. Gets a Creeping Chill, pretty nasty because he's going to gain 3 life. Any kind of life gain is always annoying. Okay. Our Rift Bolt is going to come off Suspend. And we'll put it on the face. Then a land. Stinkweed Imp possibly coming out next turn. So I could do a couple things. I think I kind of just want a Spectacle face. Put out the Bloodstained Mire and pass. If I'm filling it, I can Boros Charm on their end step, take them down to possibly 6. If the opponent finds more Creeping Chills, though, I could be in very big trouble. Thankfully for game 2, we do have 2 Rest in Peace in the sideboard to bring in for this matchup. Roiling Vortex might also be good. Maybe not. I don't know what this says. I think it's just return to the battlefield. Yeah, so Roiling Vortex doesn't really work against Dredge because they don't actually cast things from their graveyard. They just kind of return them from their graveyard. Okay, opponent going down hard. So we're in pretty good shape as long as they don't hit any more life gain. Okay, life from the loam, perfectly fine. I guess they were very desperate to get that green source. Okay, I think we get it. Crack this. Just grab a mountain, that's fine. 4 to your face. And the opponent knows what's going on. What were we going to draw? Not another spell. Okay, so always nice to take game 1 against Dredge. I feel like that's a deck that more often than not is going to win game 1. Definitely bringing in the Rest in Pieces. Searing Blaze is quite good in this matchup. I don't know about creatures because they kind of flood the board quite well. So I kind of think I might just want to take out 2 Goblin Guides. Yep. Okie doke, opponent. Well, we got our Searing Blazes. Unfortunately, that is a lot of land, and I think, although the Searing Blazes are very good in this matchup, I don't really want to keep 5 lands. Okay. Okay. Try like that, throw back a land. Skullcrack hopefully can become relevant at one point in the game, as long as they don't hit early Creeping Chills. Found another land, so glad I got rid of that first land. Let's get in with the Goblin Guide, see what he reveals. Revealing the Ox. So if the opponent wants to crack the Wooded Foothills, it will shuffle away the Ox, which it does. Okay, bye-bye Ox. Boy, it's been a while since I played a Dredge matchup. When I first got into Magic, Dredge was everywhere, and I feel like over the last couple years, it's definitely taken a backseat. It's definitely still relevant, though. So, gonna flood out the board with creatures and hit hard. Opponent hits a Cathartic Reunion, which is probably one of the best cards in their deck. Such a good enabler for Dredge. So if they hit, or if they play out the Cathartic Reunion right now and they hit a couple of Creeping Chills, I don't know if I can really come back. So there's a Narcomoeba. Only one Narcomoeba by the one Creeping Chill. I missed the other one. So opponents can get a lot back: a Creeping Chill, a Narcomoeba, and a Prized Amalgam. They played their Wooded Foothills beforehand, though, and they're not going to get back that Bloodghast. They could have cracked the Wooded Foothills, actually. All right, so how much damage do I have? If I put both of these on face, that'll put these up to 3/3. That's going to be 5 damage gets through, plus 6, which is only 11. Not enough. So I think I just put out the Wooded Foothill. I attack. Lightning Axe is good. Probably see a chump block here. Maybe put it on the Swift Spear. Yeah. Okay, and we are just going to be setting up for next turn. I'm going to hold up the Skullcrack. Hopefully try to blank another Creeping Chill. They still have 3 more in their deck, so yeah. All that life they can gain is real nasty. Now, also, these blockers are going to have a hard time getting through because the Prized Amalgam can block something. The Lightning Axe is going to be relevant for this matchup. Be able to kill one of the other Swift Spears. I can't really do anything about that. Opponent's helping me a lot, though, taking lots of damage. Bloodghast can't block, so it's not really relevant to what's happening right now. Got to imagine it's the Lightning Axe coming out. Although they could just save it for our turn. I can put the Skewer on the Prized Amalgam if need be, if I want to push in damage with the creatures next turn. Okay. Life from the Loam. Opponent's draw seems to be a little slower than I usually remember Dredge being. I think getting a little bit lucky. There's the Lightning Axe. Sure. So I do have a Riftbolt cooking. Makes me think I kind of want to fire off this Skullcrack now. Yeah. I'm going to put this on face. Nice. Click the wrong thing. So Spectacle, get rid of the Prized Amalgam. We get there. All right. Oh, still get there. It's fine. It's fine. Got a little ahead of myself. still fine. Should have skewered beforehand just to get an extra point of damage on the Monastery Sphere, but it doesn't matter. So good hits from the opponent, and got a little bit lucky on our end, getting just enough damage in to blank both of these Creeping Chills. Not good first performance from Burn. Gonna go on to the second match. All right, on the draw for match 2, just took down Dredge. Opening hand also looks good. We have turn 1 Monastery Sphere with an Eidolon backup and then a couple of burn spells. That's what you want to see. The creatures in this deck, although there are only 12 of them, are very, very important to the deck. All right, him having a Noble Hierarch there is quite annoying because I can't get rid of it. I could suspend the Rift Bolt, but then I think it's probably going to be just too late. I'm just going to go in with the Swift Spear. All right. So if the opponent's on a Heliod Company deck, that's going to be a lot of life gain, and no way I can get around that. If the opponent is on mono green, not such a big thing. This could be the Felidar Saheeli combo, maybe. That's what Oath of Nisa usually says to me. Llanowar Visionary. Okay, opponent is doing cool things. Llanowar Elf, sure. Okay, get in for one. You got it. Okay, I think I'm going to put out the Eidolon this turn. Instinct doesn't feel very good right now with this one. So it is a mono green deck with the Nykthos getting some crazy devotion going. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this Nykthos could tap for 5, 6, 7 mana total access from the opponent on turn 3. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's just hope that the opponent has a few small things rather than one big thing. Opponent's thinking long and hard over there. Got to imagine it's not one big thing then, if they're taking this much time to decide. So Karn, very good. What does the Karns go and get? They can still cast something for 3 CMC, so something like a Trinisphere, a Wormcoil Engine. Ew. Okay. All right, so Wormcoil Engine. That means that next turn they're going to play that out and potentially gain 6 life on turn 5. I have to kill them before then, which I can do. Well, so this is awkward. I went to cat. I'm going to deal 5 damage to myself. So I went to cancel there, and I guess my mouse just carried just slightly too much here, and I targeted myself. So that's fantastic. Huh. Yeah. I can't even cast the skewer now because I did damage to my face. Oh, I this game is probably over because of that. I'm so annoyed right now. Well, the opponent's being nice and just taking a little bit of damage. Okay, suspend that. You know, that is, I've never really realized that, but that is not a large gap between the cancel button and your opponent's or your own character. Yeah. So if the opponent were down to 9 life, I'd have a draw here. But now, yeah. Maybe the opponent helps us out. If the opponent plays something that's not Trinisphere, that is under 3 CMC, they'll take 2 damage, and I could potentially get 10 damage out of a lightning bolt draw. I also have to not take too much damage. Damping sphere. Okay. Still not too bad. Still chance. There's still a chance. Oh, they'd be dead if I just didn't misclick. I'm gonna throw away the Eidolon. Oh, I still have the Rift Bolt. I forgot about the Rift Bolt. This, I'm just awful. I think I have to pay 2, right? Yeah. Huh. Well, I don't know how I feel right now. This whole situation was very weird. If they don't have instant speed life gain. All right, so burn pretty strong. Turns out you can deal 5 damage to your face instead of 3 damage to your opponent, and still manage to get through a worm coil engine. Let's not talk about this one. Let's just go sideboarding. So, Searing Blaze is going to be very good. What else? I don't think I'm really too worried about a Karn into Wormcoil. Not worried enough to bring in Smash to Smithereens. Roiling Vortex is just useless in this matchup. Path to Exile could be okay, but I think it's mostly irrelevant. Like, I don't want to be giving them more ramp. Yeah, the only card that I'm kind of looking at that I might bring in is Smash, but I don't even think I want it. I honestly think the sideboard's not very good for me right now. I could just bring in Roiling Vortex to blank life gain if he does get to a point where he is putting in a Wormcoil engine. Actually, maybe the Roiling Vortexes are going to be okay. It's also ping damage. What do I want to take out? Maybe take out 1 Rift Bolt, 1 Goblin Guide. His board is gonna, the opponent's gonna flood out with a bunch of creatures, so I'm probably not gonna get in. Yeah, sure. Let's try the Roiling Vortex. It's a card in the sideboard I haven't played around with very much, so I think it would be fun to bring it in and just see how it works out. Okay, lots of burn. Searing Blaze is a lot better when you are on the play. Oh, turn that off. Because now I'm going to have to wait a little while to get this Searing Blaze off. So I could just Lightning Bolt the Elvish Mystic. Probably a good idea, considering that this is going to be allowing him to tap for 2 mana with the Elf instead of 1. Did that just mess up his game plan? Wow. Okay. So we're a little bit slow, but the opponent doesn't have lands. Finds a land. Nothing to do with it. Just going to fire off this Boros Charm. I'm not going to play out the Sacred Foundry here because I do have the Searing Blazes. So when he inevitably plays out a creature like this one, I can Searing Blaze it on my turn. Oop. 3 damage, 3 damage. All right. Well, lots of damage in hand. Oath of Nissa, not a big deal. Okay, let's put this Lightning Bolt face. Find another land, which I am going to play it out because I can crack it with the Searing Blaze. Yeah, opponent, I'm not sure what's going on over there, but not really finding anything. And Roiling Vortex can win. Comes in for the win. All right. That was a bit of a weird match. We did go 2-0 in it, so that's good. Opponent doing something really cool with Green Devotion, playing things like Nykthos. I really wonder what his big payoff was. But anyways, got the win despite some weird things happening. On to the next one. Okay, match 3. Been a weird league so far. Ooh, this is one of those hands that I'm always very tempted to keep, and they tend to backfire on me quite often. Opponent is on Luris, telling me possibly Hammer Time. I think I will mulligan it. And this is maybe better. Do I want to keep both lands? Or all 3 lands? No. Let's see if it is Hammer Time. Burning Catacomb. Nope. So maybe John Deluris would probably have preferred Hammer Time. The opponent took a look at his own library. So they don't have any information about the card that we're about to draw, which is a Goblin Guide. Hey, you know what? That's okay. So put out the old Gobbo and see what the opponent's up to. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. That's why. A Croxa. Oh, opponent gets rid of the Croxa. Takes 3 damage from the Shockland. Lightning Bolt, Lightning Bolt. Okay. Okay, it is Jund. Termagoyf. 4/5 Termagoyf. Yes, sir. How am I going to deal with that? I assume very, very poorly. I am going to put out the Eidolon. This is going to be a very big problem for me, though. Especially since we are at the same life total. I don't want to chump block the Termagoyf just yet, but it might come down to that. So I feel like the opponent gets in for 4. I'll take it. Forest and no spell. Okay. Well, I could try to kill the Termagoyf now. Instant in this graveyard with a land. So the Termagoyf is not really going to grow. It might be best to try to get rid of it. So Searing Blaze, Searing Blaze. Going to take 4 damage this turn doing this. Oh, this is a sorcery, so it will grow. It's still only going to 6. It hurts a lot, though. But I think I have to get rid of it. Okay. Oh, he put the creature in the graveyard with the enchantment. Yep. All right. Good play, opponent. I should have considered that. I was dumb. So that's an enchantment creature. Gets that way up. And double Termagoyf now. I am kaputz. Termagoyf is one of those cards I don't play against it enough to get. I gotta do more reps against that kind of deck. Okay, Path to Exile comes in. I don't really care about Skullcrack in this case. And I don't know how good Searing Blaze is even in this matchup. Rest in Peace also probably might come in. If that's the case, then maybe I keep in the Searing Blazes. Maybe something like that. Sure. Ah, yeah. Termagoyf always ruining my time. Trying to remove it with damage is always miserable. Especially for smooth brains. So I get in with the Monastery Swift Spear. Yeah. Always got it. All right. Opponent takes a look at my library this time. Draws a card. We find a mountain, so I will go out with that mountain and into the Eidolon. Definitely got to get on and play more Magic. I've been playing a lot of Switch over the last week and not playing much Arena or Magic Online. Definitely should be practicing a little bit more. I think this is my first game on Arena, or sorry, on Magic Online in about 3 days, 4 days. Okay. What has the opponent got? Missing green mana over there. I didn't pump the Monastery Swiftspear on the attack last turn just because I thought it was going to be a little bit too hasty, and I don't feel like I need to be the aggressor right now. I mean, I will do damage to the opponent at some point, but well, we'll see if I regret not getting that one extra point of prowess in. Okay. Good enough. Oop, one more. Okay. Game 3. Sure. One big benefit to Modern Burn is that your opponents tend to do a lot of damage to themselves, helping your cause out quite a bit. One land, can't keep it. 3 lands, no creatures, not better, but keepable. Inquisition from the opponent, taking maybe Lightning Bolt or Boros Charm, probably one of the two. All right, Rift Bolt, sure. I think I will fire off the Lava Spike. Pass it back. Kroxa from the opponent. Sure. I will discard maybe the Boros Charm. Yeah. Nurturing Peatland, doing a little bit of damage to the opponent could also help get us there. Just a few points of damage, very important. That's why Boros Charm is actually quite good in the deck. That 4 instead of 3 damage is sometimes very relevant. Last game came down to exact damage, so I think it was the case in one of the earlier matches as well. So put another 4 damage on you. They might have a command. Is that what it's called? Not a Tarka's command. Kolaghan. So 2 damage to me. Make me discard my Lava Spike. Sure. All right, go Eidolon. Opponent down to 4 cards. I'm at 1. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Got the Fatal Push. But 2 damage on the opponent. It's okay. Ooh, Death Shadow. So here's the problem with the Lava Spike is that it grows the Death Shadow. If the opponent has a Temur Battle Rage, it could be a problem. If he does have a Temur Battle Rage, I'm dead. because the opponent will tap the Nurturing Peatland, making it a 7/7, and kill me at 14. So I don't need to really play around Temur Battle Rage. If I put the opponent down to 4, he Nurturing Peatlands, that'll put the Death Shadow up to a 10. And if he has a Lightning Bolt, I'm at 1. So maybe it's okay. I think it's okay. The play is to draw some kind of damage. And if he pops, or if he does damage to himself with the Nurturing Peatland, I can... Okay. I have to do that. So now I'm dead to a Lightning Bolt. Opponent hits me for 12. Can't use that Peatland. Oh, no. So in the intro, I said that a Skewer the Critics was usually a 1 CMC spell. All right. Didn't work out for me. Let the opponent get in for 12 damage. So GG, we drop 1. Some sloppy play, definitely. Gotta, again, all those nasty cobwebs that are on me. What was the next card? Oh, another one that I couldn't cast. All right, game or match 4. Let's go. All right, more sloppy burn play coming up. Just dropped a game to Jund. Yeah, hand is a little bit weak, but I'm going to keep it anyways. No more lands, please. No more lands. So, go in with the Goblin Guide. See if our opponent is on Azorius control or something a little different. Shark Typhoon probably means Azorius control, and the opponent shuffled that card away. Might be opting right now. Yeah. The opt puts the card on the bottom of the library. Okie doke. Planes for the opponent. Skewer's okay. Shark Typhoon for 0. And we reveal a planes for the opponent, helping them out. I think I fire this off. Whoa, Force of Negation pitching Archmage's Charm? Yes, please. That seems like an okay exchange for me. Let's do the other one. All right, so opponent down to 12. We know they have this planes in hand. Plays it. What's with this mismatching planes is? Oh, come on. Have a little bit of pride in your deck building, opponent. Well, I'm going to play out the Sunbaked Canyon. Probably, certainly crack it. Another Shark Typhoon, this time on 1. Sure. And a Supreme Verdict for the opponent. So, little chump block there. Okay. The flooding is going to be a bit of a problem. I don't think I can get there with 4 cards. Opponent misses the land. Misses the land. Searing Blaze. Okay. Searing Blaze number 2. You know what would be real good right now is another Shark Typhoon. It's an Oust. Oh no. So this is like a traditional Azorius control deck. This is really interesting to see back in Modern. So they're going to miss their land drop again. They do go with the Oust. Sure. Well, the flood is real on one side and the screw is real on the other side, so what do you say about that? I crack one of these. I'm keeping them open because of the Searing Blazes, which are not very good in this matchup. They don't exactly play a lot of creature spells. The Shark Typhoons would be great to hit, but the opponent's already gone through two of them. Path to Exile, sure. We're getting a little bit low on lands on our side. Opponent finds the fourth land. Okay, little bit brutal. In fact, it might be hard to turn on these Searing Blazes in the future if I don't think I have that many more fetchable lands. Put it up top. So the opponent pitched the Supreme Verdict to that. Sure. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to find that because I don't have, yeah. Oh, oops. Didn't find it. I need this Arid Mesa or the Wooded Foothills to find that mountain possibly in the future to activate the Searing Blazes, so I'm just going to leave it in there. Archmage's Charm to draw some cards. Sure. Well, I think I had a very good chance to win this game, and unfortunately it kind of slipped away with the top of the deck being as it is. I guess I'll do that. Well, oh, hang on. Oh, why did it go to... I must have clicked it to go to resolution. I could have gone and found it. Yeah. All right. I could have paid. I have money. Unfortunately, the Searing Blaze cannot go onto the Teferi. Do get to kill the Teferi, possibly, unless... Ooh, Snapcaster. Oh, no. Yeah, a little bit of a shame right here. I'm kind of feeling a little disappointed. Especially, oh, so Teferi, I didn't mention, really messes with Suspend. So all of my Rift Bolts are going to be quite bad. Just have to cast them full value. Love seeing another land. Okay. Damn. I can't do anything about it because of Teferi. What do I have left in my deck for lands? I definitely have all the fast lands left. JC Boy. Sure. He's going after the top of my library. Rude. Puts the card on the bottom. It was a good one. Well, okay, Lightning Helix. I think I want to go get that land now, the one that I've been sandbagging, because I do have the Bloodstained Mire. And I just don't want to draw that mountain. Come on, Cryptic. I don't have enough mana to cast everything in my hand, though. All right. So do like that. Oh, I can't. I wanted to cast both of them, but because of Teferi being who he is. I like Teferi. I don't have anything against him. I know a lot of people hate him, but he's okay in my book. It's real annoying, but I'm gonna try. If it's a Shark Typhoon, oh, gonna mana leak it. Okay. Darn. So we drew all the lands in our deck, but it's still not enough lands to actually help me because they're all fetchables. All right. So chump block with the Snapcaster, I'm sure. Yeah. This game feels like it's hard to watch. You should probably just skip over this one. Big boy Teferi is gonna get strong soon. No. Oh no, he put the card on the top. It's an Inspiring Vantage. No. I'm predicting. Some big canyon. Well, it's not the worst card. Try it. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm not going to bother with this. The opponent's got quite the lock with obviously those guys, and we had our chance before we drew all of our lands. So I do like the Roiling Vortex in this one, and probably both the Pithy Needle as well. Searing Blazes don't feel very good at all. Obviously, he has Snapcaster Mage, but no, it's not enough to justify bringing those in. Wait. So what do we got for fetchable? So the deck plays a ton of fetch lands. So fetchables, we only have 6 cards as fetchables, but we play 7 fetch lands. Yeah. But this deck never wants to get to that point in the game where you're having issues with your lands like that. You've already lost the game if that's the case. Okay, well, get to play first at least. And find a hand that is not keepable. It's almost good enough, right? The opponent could path the Monastery Sphere. Do I keep it and get punished? Or do I throw it back? This is a better hand. Question will be, what do I keep? Or what don't I keep? Probably the Lightning Bolt. Opponent also mulliganing down to 6. Okay, keep 6. So some big canyon into the Swift Spear. Attack for 1. Swift Spear plus Eidolon's pretty great opening. All right. Should be smart. Should attack first. So doing a lot more damage to ourselves, but hopefully be able to even that out soon. Okay. Land would be good. There's a land. So I'm gonna attack, see what the opponent does, and then Aether Gust on Eidolon. Put that on top. I like the Eidolon. Okay, play that out, take damage, and then I think I want to... Certainly I'm going out with the Pithing Needle. 100%. I'm going to name Teferi. I didn't play it pre-combat because I was scared of counter magic. So Teferi Time Raveler. And then I kind of want to put out the Eidolon again. Roiling Vortex next turn. Time Raveler so he can't bounce it. The instant passive stopping effect is still obviously there. Kind of annoying, but that's okay. I wonder if the opponent will Field of Ruin something to get rid of the other Eidolon. No, the opponent lets me draw it. So this kind of makes me feel like the opponent might have a Supreme Verdict next turn. Spell Queller. Well, we'll put that in the column of things I did not expect to get hit by right now. Okay. I really want to get out the Roiling Vortex. I think I'm going to put it out. It might be a bad card in this matchup. I don't know. We'll see. Good old Jace. That's fine. Opponent knows I have this in hand. Should know. So opponent's looking at the top 3 cards of their library. Going to draw one of them. Put 2 back on top. Taking their time with this choice. Maybe worried about the Eidolon that's coming out next turn. Does the opponent attack in with Spell Queller? No. Too bad. So I take 1 damage. Find a Bloodstained Mire that I don't particularly want. But I can always crack the Sunbaked Canyon with that extra mana now. So we got an 8-turn clock. Wear them down a little bit. Returns the Eidolon, sure. So they're going to Aether Gust my Roiling Vortex, and that's going to cause me to lose it in the process. Yeah, cool. Like that play. So they were actually scared of the Roiling Vortex. Hmm. Okay, play to the field. Then maybe next turn get some prowess triggers on these creatures and possibly go hard. We'll see. I don't think I'm in a winning position, though. I'm sure there was something I could have done differently, but the opponent had pretty good answers throughout. They don't have cryptic mana, which is really nice. A little bit of an upside right now, but things, I don't know. I don't feel confident right now. I don't feel confident in my play. I kind of like to go back and rewatch this game, see how I could have done differently. So the opponent looked at the top card of my library. Oh, I hate timely reinforcements with a strong, strong passion. It's just like the blowout against aggro burn decks. And it's a Goblin Guide. We don't want Goblin Guide. Ay, 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 ay. I don't know what to do. That timely was timely. As it's one of those most aptly named cards. Yep. Sure wish I had that Roiling Vortex out there to stop the timely life gain, though. Now the opponent has Cryptic Mana. I don't like throwing this at the Jace, but I kind of think I have to. Mana Leak. Womp womp. Let's go. Let's just attack. Polluted Delta for the opponent. Sure. All right, and try to get this Eidolon back on the field, but I kind of feel like another counterspell is in my future. Okay, that's good enough for me. GG's. Tough one. Okay, the fifth and final match, trying to finish with a 3-2 at the very least. The third match, I think, was awfully close. That last one against the Azorius control did not feel good at all. Hand looks good, though. Lead on Swift Spears, get to play first. That's what we want to see. Yeah, last game, the opponent just kind of seemed to have my number every which way and played incredibly well. Did see that that person does have a number of trophies to their name. So, good on them. Playing a lot, probably a lot more familiar with that deck than I am with what's happening in Modern right now. A snow-covered island. Okay. Well, opponent not doing much over there. Suspend the Rift Bolt while we can. Ooh, Desperation Opt on their turn. Dig in for the second land. Next turn, we have a lot of damage coming in. Opponent is yielding. Opponent is dead on turn 3. Wow. Well, the burn deck definitely takes advantage of people not having much going on, and obviously nice opening hand. So he's on an is it deck. Is it like an is it prowess deck? Is it Phoenix deck? I don't know. I'm wondering if I want to bring in the core firewalkers. I just don't know what they're on. The only thing is it an opt? I don't know what that really means. You know what? Let's not change anything. I'm not going to preemptively guess what their game plan is. Okay. I really wish I had a one-drop creature, but I think Eidolon on 2 is probably good enough. It could be Storm, which now it's looking more like Storm. In which case, I don't know if I really even have anything in the sideboard for Storm. No. But Eidolon is great. See if they have the turn 3 creature or turn 2 creature. No. So Rift Bolt on your face, and it's Eidolon time. If the opponent doesn't have removal for the Eidolon, that could be big trouble. There's Brawl. Chose not to put Brawl out last turn. Does the opponent have the Lightning Bolt? Looks that way. No. Desperate Ritual. A desperate play indeed. Could be the opponent's trying to go off now. Wow. I have so much respect for the opponent right now. Okay. This is super cool. I really hope the opponent can kill me. I know as weird as that sounds, it would be awesome to see an opponent kill on turn 3 through an Eidolon. This could also just be the opponent going to great lengths to get rid of the Eidolon. Maybe they have the Storm card.
I didn't get that.
Siri's getting a little crazy. Okay, well, 4 more spells. Desperate Ritual. Storm count up to 5. Cast the Serum Visions. Wow, this is awesome. I can't imagine this works. Does this work? There's no way. Three mana ops. Okay, so I don't know. That's weird. This whole league was incredibly weird. Let's go open up that chest and then talk about something. We get a Ghost Fireblade. I think that was used in Pioneer when that artifact scissors deck, whatever it was called, was running around. Might still be a thing. All right, so quick little wrap up. I mean, Modern Burn's fun. Obviously, there were some really great turn 3 kills. You could see that things like Eidolon in that last game really messed up the opponent's game plans. The games can be very close, coming down to like zero, like exact points of damage to finish off the game. Overall, it's a lot of fun. I just got to get a little bit better against playing against the Azorius control deck. Obviously, that game was really shaky, and I kind of got clobbered. And then got to remember Termagoyf things. Always keep everything in mind. I think a general rule against Termagoyf is don't try to kill it with damage, but sometimes, yeah. Anyways, that is the deck for today. Probably going to play it a couple more times this week and see how it goes. I just love playing Burn, and it's a whole lot of fun. Anyways, take care for now. See you later.